We'll be starting in a little bit. Just got to get my coffee. All right, guys. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's start it off. Let's get it. Where's my... Welcome to the party. It's your boy Malintent. We're back again for another day of Path of Exile. We have a great day planned. We are going to finish this off. Act 2 done. That's what we're shooting for. We're shooting for Act 2 being done and moving our way into Act what you want to call it? Into the Act 3. Cruel Act 2 done. We're gonna move ourselves into Act 3, and then we're just gonna go ahead and just demolish the rest of this stuff. We need to get some better gear. There we go. So what we got is we're gonna have to get through a little bit of this extra stuff here. go. There we go. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. See how pretty that is. See how pretty that is. There we go. I must travel late. Same with me. I gotta travel late too. Must travel late. Get me a nice, good little bit of money. Really? You won't even be hit? Dang, that's terrible. Excuse me about that. There we go. I got it. At least that guy took the damage. The other guy was just like, no. I know you want to hit me, but sorry, not gonna happen. Okay. Boom. What did I learn? Nothing. Sales. Sale. Soon I'm gonna have to start doing some what what you want to call work on gear. Have a bunch of gear pieces in here. I need to go ahead and start trying to craft up a little something to make myself a little bit better than what I am. So that's gonna have to be done. Let's get up here because I want the wicker tiara. Take those boots. Steel toes, I ain't gonna. Wow, that actually caught me off guard. I thought I was thought I had that's why. Okay. Double belt. That. Put those together. Nope, nothing over there. All right. This is the final push. The final push. Let's see if we can do some damage. There we go. Oh my gosh. I only went through one storm. There we go. Aha!
This is not over. Not yet. I return you to the embrace of death. It is done.
That's actually I like. I like.
Is paternity.
Gotta run down here, talk to this dude. Let me know he's actually sitting.
My worst fear.
Come now, Shade. Share your truth with me.
You're right.
I am Sin.
I am a god. It was I who all I can out the beast while I stare room.
Husband of God Khan. I don't believe it.
What happened?
Do.
Welcome.
Let's travel to the marsh.
Until then.
The beast has grown too powerful. We can no longer contain it through mortal means. There was once an empire that embraced corruption. They studied it, mastered it.
That's right.
The greatest civilization the world has ever known. But it led to their destruction. Our allies will continue the pursuit of the beast, but we shall undertake a different search. We must go to the ruins of the Val Empire, in search of a weapon against the coming cataclysm.
Ta-da!
Greetings.
Identify. There we go.
I'm short.
I will tell your tale. Stay inside.
The well. Get that stash. There we go. Throw that in there. Ooh. The gold cast cuffs. How much do them things cost anyway? Probably not that much, but still. They could be worth something. What are they called? They're called the Blue Flame Gold Cast Cloth. How much are people selling them for? One exalted orb. Yeah, baby. That's a quick exalted. How much intelligence this one has? It's not that high, not that high. Oh, that's terrible. Well, no, it's okay. It's not that great, but it's all right. It's okay. So let's go ahead and let's do what we need to do. We're gonna put this into here. And we're gonna keep the cuffs. I'm gonna keep that, do that. I didn't even know. I didn't even see that he was online. Let me see. Jasper. That's my man. Oh, I forgot. He said he was gonna stop streaming for this year because he got a lot of stuff that's going on. He's got a lot of stuff that's going on. So let's see here. Oh, not what I needed. What is it that pulls up the there you go. J. And he's offline again. What's up, lycanthropy? What's up, lycanthropy? So, lycanthropy. How do you like the how do you like this this game? Enjoyable, not enjoyable, still you know, still out, don't know, got issues with it, can't stand it, greatest game ever created. PoE 2. What's your take on PoE 2? Don't have it. Oh, lycanthropy. I'm sorry, lycanthropy. I would have given you a key. Well, if you would have been in the stream earlier on when it was released, I was giving away keys. You could actually had one of those free keys if you'd have, if I'd have known, if you could have popped up earlier.
The humidity is disgusting. Best get on with this.
Yeah, I was throwing out keys pretty early. What's up, Dragon Frost? What's up? So, we're doing that final push to get ourselves the maps with this character. We still got issues with this character, which is we still need more mana. My mana regen is at 80. The spell, because I added so many levels to the spell, it's 100 and something to cast by itself, which means that it's eating up so much mana. I mean, every cast takes me down. Now, before I did eat up all my mana, I actually could maintain a pretty good casting, and I could just constantly cast. And so, with the change, I burned through mana and mana potions like crazy. I don't know. I hopefully I'll be able to get this compensated pretty quickly because it sucks. Oh, this guy. Oh yeah, let's do this. Come on. Oh really? I missed him that much? Ah, come on now. I'm gonna run out of mana potion if I don't hurry up. Somehow I gotta kill that dude soon. There we go. That's how you kill things, people. That's how you kill things. A little slow, but we're still working on it. We're working on it. Oh, hold up. Let me go this way. So, hey. Let's get this going. Let's get this going. Hey, so Lycanthropy, what have you been playing then? If you haven't been playing this amazing, beautiful game that actually has a lot of combo powers. Not this particular build, but this build does have a kind of combo power. If you really want to do good damage, you want to use that little ice wall that I just threw up. So you kind of throw the ice wall out there on rares and or big bosses. You throw the ice wall and then you shoot through the ice wall so your stuff explodes. There's a lot of combo powers in this game, so I do suggest it as a whoa. That's how we roll. A Delta Force, and I got an Arabic emulator, so I've been playing retro games. Retro games. That's kind of like me and my arcade cabinet. I got an arcade cabinet which I play all my retro games on. Donkey Kong, the little asteroids, you know, all the things that you should, that everybody wants to play. Breath of Fire 3 and old Pokemon games. Ah, okay. Got it. Fire Emblem. That's my favorite game. One of my favorite games is Fire Emblem. It's cheesy, doesn't have that really good graphics. Even Fire Emblem 3, which was, or is it? I think it was called 3. No, it's the 5 houses or the 4 houses, something like that. That one actually is a pretty good one. I like playing that one too. And that one is like, there we go. Duelist Orb, Waystone. Yeah, baby. So Abernick RG505, it looks like a little switch and has 20 emulators in it. Nice. So Lycanthropy, how's the wife doing? And the little ones. The kids keep her busy. That's awesome. Really, I haven't seen Step Youngin has a boyfriend now, so that's drama. Oh my gosh. I really how old is your stepdaughter? $15? Well, I can say this. My daughter has not actually gotten a boyfriend yet. So my daughter's only 14. She'll be 15 this year, actually. But this is where my concern comes in with my daughter. My daughter hasn't had a lot of attention from dudes. Okay, so she hasn't gotten a lot of attention from dudes. So she's asked a few times if you know, things, the normal standard questions, am I ugly, you know, things like that, because her other friends, some of her other friends have, you know, they get Valentine's cards from all kind of dudes and things like that, but she don't get all that stuff. And so, of course, you know, as a father, you don't want to, you know, you don't want to be like, hey, baby, this is what you got to do to go get to get guys to like you. Because guess what? You don't want her to date. But at the same time, I sit there and I'm like, oh, you know, it's not that, baby. You just gotta, you know, you gotta just deal with, grow up, do, you know, these different things. And eventually guys will start being interested in you and doing, you know, and will be trying to chase after you and all this other stuff. But at the same time, I'm like, no guy's gonna like you. We don't want guys liking you. I'm more worried about her boyfriend than her. Why would you be more worried about the boyfriend? Weren't you an angel when you were, like, you know, aren't most guys angels when they were, you know, that, oh, I just died. That's what I get for messing around. I was gonna say, weren't most guys angels around that time frame? She bullies the heck out of him? Oh no, see, that's the problem right there. You need to take him under your wing. You need to take him under your wing and teach him, this is, even if it breaks up, that breaks them up, you need to be like, look, dude, you can't allow her to bully you. You can't allow that to happen. That's not how, you know, he might not have a very, you know, very strong father figure. You need to be that father figure. Be like, look, that's not how it's supposed to be, sir. But my mama said, trust me, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. You try? Okay, that's good. I'm sorry, you know, men have to protect each other, especially in this crazy world we got going on right now. Men have to work together, because it's all, you know, it's us against the world. He needs to know that before he gets old. Before he gets too old, he needs to know it's us against the world. Oh, that's a terrible thought process. But it's what I grew up. I grew up with that mentality. I'm not even gonna deny. I grew up with that mentality. My dad taught me that mentality. That it's us against the world. And you need to be prepared, because the world ain't gonna sit back. It's not gonna be nice to you. It's not gonna wait for you to be ready. It's not gonna wait for you to be ready. You need to understand that you need to fight the world all the way through. You must be prepared to battle to the end. I was sitting there and I was looking at this YouTube shorts the other day, right? And you know, most of our kids, even my son, they get most of their dating advice and stuff like that from off of watching YouTube, right? So I was sitting there looking at this YouTube short, and it had me laughing because they get on YouTube, and I just find it hilarious that these YouTube shorts and these TikToks that these girls be putting out, they be like, why aren't men doing these things? Why aren't men doing these things? And some YouTuber, I forgot who it was, went on the TikTok, and they got all the TikToks, right? And they put the TikToks together. And it was like, no wonder men don't know what they're supposed to do, right? So, one TikTok, men should do this. Men, why aren't men doing this? Another TikTok, oh, it's actually creepy that a man does it when a man does this. Another TikTok, why doesn't they do the exact same thing that the first lady? So let's say it's a oh, I remember, it's texting. Well, a man should, why don't men? This is creepy, to be called, contacting immediately, blah 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 blah. Then it's other TikToks where why I gotta waiting for him to respond, et cetera, and then it's like, oh, it's women. If a man is texting you back immediately, immediately, it's creepy, et cetera. What's up, room? And then the other TikTok right behind it is like, oh man, why do I gotta wait for this dude to respond? Why do I gotta wait for men to respond when I'm asking questions? Things like that. So I'm sitting there and I sent it to my son. I said, this is why men can't win. No matter what we do, we in the wrong. And I always told my son, and I'll give this to you as well, to the masses. The masses need to know this as well. He always asks me, no, not Lady Trouble, not at all. I was just sitting there talking about how I was watching this TikTok, or not, I was watching this YouTube the other day. It's a YouTube short. I forgot who made it. And they went through, and it's not the first one that I've watched. I've seen a few of these where what happened was the YouTuber went on to TikTok and got all the contradicting YouTubes or TikToks, where one TikTok is like, oh, like the one I was watching, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday, was, oh, it's creepy that men respond immediately when, or it's desperate, or if a man responds immediately to your text messages. Then it's another one right afterwards. They stitch it together where the one right behind it is another lady on TikTok complaining that she has to wait. For the dude for a dude to respond, and then she switches because it's a lady. I don't know. She switches to another person. TikTok that's complaining that, oh, it's creepy when a man responds to text immediately, et cetera. And then the one right after that complains that a man, oh, why am I gotta wait? I'm not getting a response, da. So I was like, men can't win. You can't win. And I've told my son this on a regular basis. And I didn't tell him a man can't win. What I've told my son on a regular basis, he's always asked me, how do I know what to, when and what to talk to a girl and all this other stuff. And I told him that every individual girl, you have to find the girl. You have to understand the girl. It is not going to be, hey, instantly, you need to treat every girl the exact same. You have to kind of feel out what that girl's personality is, and you have to, and over time, you're going to figure it out. Over time, you're going to figure it out. Sometimes it's like, oh, I know exactly how she talks and what she's saying, that I need to make sure that I do these things so we can get along, so that we can start dating, so that we can be together. And then other times it's like, ooh, I can't act this way, because if I act this way, this girl will not appreciate that. So that was one of the, oh man, I never was happy when I was single. I'm sorry. I was never happy when I was single. But at the same time, my dry spells would be like, I would be upset when I hit a dry spell and I wouldn't have a girl for like 3 months or something like that. Oh my gosh. When I was y'all's age, I used to be like, I gotta find me a girlfriend. I gotta find somebody to hook up with. I can't be like without a girlfriend for too long. That was not acceptable in the environment I grew up. You always had to have a girlfriend. And then, oh, let me go ahead and tell you, this is one of those things that you got to realize as well. This is one of those things you got to realize as well. If you are an attractive man, even if you're an attractive man and you can't get yourself a girlfriend, let's just put it like this. I'm gonna give you a trick. It works. You might not like it, but it works. Find yourself an ugly girl and date ugly girl. I understand, but I never had one but I never had one. So at the moment, I'm happy. I'm dodging all the drama. I'm sure it's very fun to be together with somebody. Yeah. If you want, I'm just saying, if you want a girlfriend, and I told my son this, sometimes you got to practice. You just can't be a home run player, So sometimes you gotta find yourself an ugly girl, date ugly girl, learn how to treat a girl by practicing on the ugly girl, as well as the ugly girl will teach you what you need to learn. So she's like, it's like, hey, you can't treat girls a certain way. You can't say certain things. You learn the delusions that are active in their brains because if you're just sitting there on the sideline, you'll never learn these things. You'll never learn them because it's just, you just never will, because you're not getting any practice. And so I told my son that. I was like, look, you got to find an ugly girl. You just got to find an ugly girl. And then after you find an ugly girl, you date her, and he was like, well, what? I said, don't treat her bad. I'm not saying treat her bad. I'm just saying, sometimes that's all you can get. That's all you're capable of. You might think that you're if you cannot pull a very attractive girl and have the girl interested in you, et cetera, then that's not a girl that you're able to get. I don't care if you say, well, I look really good. If you can't get a girl that of Excalibur, then you ain't. That's not the girls you can get. That's not the girl that you that's not the girl that you can be with, because she's sorry is out of your league. So I told him, I said, start with an ugly girl. Figure out where your skill level is, where your ability is, and then work your way up if you need to. I'm a terrible, terrible person, I know. Let's see here. Like, I understand, but for me, it also feels a bit bad. What do you mean it feels a bit bad? Why does it feel bad? When you're dating, you are not saying I'm going to marry you. There is nothing that there is nothing bad about what I'm saying. It's like you're using the ugly woman. Not Also, and this is also another thing you need to be aware of. You're not using the ugly women. Also, one of the things that you're doing is you're actually shooting for your, okay, so this is a self-evaluation. Okay, self-evaluation. I will break it down this way. Okay, I am an ugly man. I'm an ugly man, but I used to be able to pull girls that were really good looking. Okay, and the only reason that I was able to pull girls that were really good looking was because of my confidence, my game, what I was able to talk about, etc., etc. So, was I always dating models, really good looking women, etc., etc., my whole entire time that I was younger, etc.? No. I had started at the bottom, moved my way up to models. Then after I moved my way up to models, I realized those women are crazy. The ones up here, they were nuts. So what did I do? I took myself back down to what was acceptable. What was acceptable to me? So I found a woman that was acceptable to me. My wife, she's upstairs right now in the bedroom somewhere. She is awesome. She's the greatest woman in the world. And the reason why is because it took me a while to figure that out. Yes, you are in search for someone to marry, but this is the problem. And this is the problem, Rune, and this is the main issue with the thought process that I'm not going to date an ugly girl and date an ugly girl. The problem is we are conditioned, our society is conditioned that we are all, they're trying to condition us to be like, always look up here, always look above, never look even, never look below. Okay? This attraction, when I say date an ugly girl, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying date a girl that's, that repels you. What I'm saying is date a girl that she's all right. She okay. She's okay. Date an ugly girl. The reason why is because that ugly girl might be the one, but because you're always looking for, I need to look for that model. I need to look for that perfect 10. I need to look for a girl that, wow, when I walk down the street and guys are looking at me and her, they're like, wow, I wish I was him. Because when you do that and you don't have the game for it, guess what? You never get the girl. especially if you don't got the game to tame or call old girl out.
You cannot forever outrun death. Why let it shackle you?
Date a girl you like and makes you picky. Stand up. That's all you need. Oh, makes your pickle stand up. Yep, that's right. That's right. Because you'll start. What happens, Rune, is this. You start and you're looking for a girl. You're always looking for that really sexy girl, right? And all these girls that are around you that do and would like you, would treat you well, would be a really good girl. You're excluding them. And so what happens is, and especially if you haven't been dating and you're not dating and you're not let's say, especially if you're not dating and you don't know how to talk to a girl, you don't have game, because most guys don't have game. Let's just be honest. And you don't have game. You can't convince a girl to be like, hey, blah blah, and get her interested in you. Then guess what? You're not going to be able to hit that girl up here. You're not going to be able to get that girl that's way above your head, because that they get let me put it to you this way. They get told by hundreds of dudes that they look good, that these dudes are gonna bend over backwards to make them happy, etc., etc. What makes you different? You are just like all the other 100 dudes. I did the AoE farming route. Oh, cool. So you're just like the other 100 dudes that actually tell her on a regular basis that she looks good. That's what I mean, Rune. It's just, you know, if you don't have game and you don't know how to have game, this is what you got to do. You got to talk to them, and you've got to get game. So Ferb, what do you mean by the AoE farming route? I think I know what you mean, but explain it to us. Explain it to Rune. Made my intentions known early. Sure, you might have 95% failure rate. That's my man. Ferb understands. Ferb understands. Ferb understands. And then you scale your talk up. You scale your game up until you get to the point where you can speak to girls in ways and everything that. All right, so let me put it to you this way. At the height of my game, when I used to go out to the clubs and stuff like that, at the height of my game, I'm gonna tell you how messed up I was. I was an evil man when I was younger. I'm not going to deny. I was an evil man when I was younger. I used to walk into a club. Me and my boys, we'd be walking into the club. We get into the club, we looking around, boom, yeah, things going on, etc., etc. I'd look around the club, just kind of look around the club, and they would be, and I'd look around the club and be like, watching the girls dancing, watching the girls on the side, talking at tables, everything like that. We get in the club, I get myself into a little corner, and then I'd look around. And I'd be like, and I tell my boy, I used to be able to tell my boy just like this, I'm sleeping with that girl tonight. And then I go to work. Boom, boom, boom. Next thing you know, I'm with her that evening. knocking it out. That's how good my game was. I knew what to do, how to say things. I'm in the club, and the one thing you don't want to do when you're in the club, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give you guys some wisdom. If you're in the club, who do you think goes home with the girl? The guy who immediately sees old girl, says, "Ooh, she's really good looking. I'm gonna go talk to her." Or the dude that waits, and then about mid-evening, closer to the end of the evening, he goes talk to a girl. Think about that. What do you, out of y'all, tell me which one do you think is gonna be the one?
The mighty Val Empire, now just an overgrown ruin. We'll open that account.
Uh-oh, nobody's gonna answer. Nobody wants to be wrong. That's terrible. Nobody wants to be wrong. Nobody wants to answer that question, huh? You were seeing if anybody else was still here. The AoE farming type guy. Incorrect. The early talker is the wrong one. The early talker will not win that game. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why. The early talker does not get the game. And this is the reason why. So you're in the club, you try to talk to old girl. Oh, you know this one? You're right. Failed this many times, yeah. Okay, so when you go to the club and you're talking to a girl, if you're the first one talking to her, she's going to be flattered. She's gonna be, she's gonna be like, hey, blah, blah, and all this other stuff. There's very few things you can talk about while you're in the club. You buy her a drink, you're hanging out, etc., etc. You become the annoying gnat because you're right there. You're like, I want to be with this girl, and you're right up on her. She's gonna be, she's gonna be like, yeah, whatever, etc., etc. And she's not ready to leave anytime soon. So you're right. She's not ready to leave anytime soon. You're right on her. You're a gnat. You're annoying the heck out of her, right? Because you're right there. You're knocking off any other people. So if there's other dudes that are better looking than you, or she might be interested in, you being here is a problem. And she starts to resent the point in fact that you won't leave her alone. But she's going to be nice enough that because she wants to, she's going to be okay about it. Oh no, that's not, no. And yeah, that's a possibility too. But most of the time, the first, if you're the first person to talk to her, just do your thing. So if you're in the club, and especially like if you're dancing in the club, etc., just do what you came to the club to do. Enjoy yourself, have fun, talk to other girls. It's perfectly fine. You done hit other tables up. Some of the girls are out there dancing with you, stuff like that. You're having fun, you're enjoying yourself. You leave them alone, you walk away. You go talk to another girl or whatever, or you're hanging out, you talking to your boys, you're doing all the different things. You're around the club just enjoying yourself. Yeah, I know. I miss it too. I miss being young. And then when you think about when she's getting kind of tired of being in the club, you walk over to hit her up. Or watch her. If she's got a dude that's hanging on to her, and that's not her boy, but's hanging on to her, and she eventually pushes off, or the dude eventually gets tired of sitting there, and he realizes, I'm not gonna get any game with this girl. He'll leave. Then you walk up, and then you introduce yourself, say hello, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then you slide on in. You also can be the escape route. Yes. And then the next thing you know, y'all are sitting there, but sometimes that ends in you getting bounced. But hey, that's true. That's true. But after you slide in there, that after old dude's pushed off or whatever, you slide in there, you talk to her, you see what's up and everything like that. She instantly feels you, because I didn't like that dude because he's been there too long. You are brand new. You're fresh meat. Since you fresh meat, she's on you. Next thing you know, you're sitting there, boom, boom, boom. You talk, you holler, and then you head home. You head home with her, and boom, it's just the way it works. But you're never gonna learn those skill sets to even be able to get to that point unless you go out there and you run the game. Because what happens is, like I said, I'll give you an example. Okay, so I had this one girl, right? She was a model. She's not a big model. She was she did runway. She did modeling for magazines, things like that. She was a very good looking girl. Girl was an alcoholic like a mug. I mean, dude, she was terrible. She was the worst. I mean, you get her into a social situation, she wants to party, she wants to drink. That's all she wanted to do, you know? That's fine and dandy, but you know, I'm talking about we would go out and she's with my family or what. Oh, I'll give you an example. Okay, so we go to her company function. So she was working for a company. She was a programmer, a computer programmer. We go to her company function. Everything ends, right? Hold up. Yeah. Only way to figure it out, got to get rejected just to be just a part of life. That's true. And don't take it personal if they reject you. That's another thing. Never take it personal if they reject you, because hey, it's fine. Now, also be aware. This is the one thing that I tell my son, and I'm gonna tell you guys, you younger folks, y'all need to understand this. Do not be second choice. I did take it personal sometimes. Why? Why would you take it personal? If they don't like you, they don't like you. There's no reason to get upset about it. But understand it, and this is I was young and dumb, yeah. And this is the one thing you got to remember, Room. And you have to put this in your head. You have to put this in your head. They will never get better than you. Put that in your head. Doesn't matter. They will never have better than you. I'm only 22. So put that in your head, that when you're talking to a girl, yeah, he's young. The girl will never get better than you, and never be second fiddle. Never be second fiddle. If you like a girl and she decides that she doesn't want to go out with you, she wants to go out with this other dude, that's fine. Okay, cool. Be cordial with her, be talking to her, whatever. Don't Do not sit on the sideline waiting to see if they will break up, she will be with you. That's dumb. That's idiotic. Because number one, she has already shown that she doesn't want you. You're going to be the fall guy or the fallback guy. That doesn't mean that you can't eventually get with her. It just means that you need to have self-respect in yourself. I am nobody's second. Nobody's second. If I'm not your first choice, there ain't no reason for me to be with you. I will give you an example. Now, this is my wife knows about this as well, so I'm not worried about telling y'all about this. I was dating this girl, and I really liked her. I mean, I like this girl a lot. Okay? So she decides to call me on the telephone, and she lived in another state. I lived in a different state, and you know how that goes. She was doing her thing down there. I was doing my thing up here, but I really did like this girl. And I was trying to work a relationship together. Either me move down there, her move up here, or something. We got to do something to get together, because that is what, I mean, it was just really good for us to be together. Now, she calls me up. She stops talking to me for a little bit, right? Maybe she disappears for like a month. You know, we get busy. We're in different, states and everything like that. So she calls me up, and she was like, I need to let you know something. I was like, what do you need to let me know? I'm going to get married. Oh, what? I'm going to get married. Blah, blah. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, how this happened? What's going on, And I told this girl right off the bat, I said, don't marry him. If you want to get married and you need somebody to marry me. And she was sitting there, and she was like, I don't know. She said something, and I was like, oh. She was like, oh, blah, blah, and all this other stuff. And I was like, hey, I'm telling you, do not marry that man. I am begging you, don't marry him. She decided she was going to marry him anyway. Okay, fast forward a year and a half later. Year and a half later, she's divorced. She's getting divorced from old dude, et cetera, et cetera. I started dating the lady upstairs.
What is worse, snakes?
So she comes back and she's talking to me, or she's trying to talk to me and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, I'm sitting there and I'm like, hey, okay, I will talk to any of my exes, no problem. I really don't care. I'm not a terrible person. I'm not trying to get with them or anything like that. I'm just cordial. So she said something to me when I was just dating my wife upstairs. I was dating my wife, and I told her flat out that I can't trust you. I told her I can't trust you. It'll be a cold day in heck before I will ever trust you, and we would ever be able to be back together. So, and I was serious. I was serious. That was a statement that came straight from my heart. You chose another man over me. There's no way that I'm going to be like, oh, we are going to be together. That's my thought process, right? So she would call every so often. We'd talk on the phone. And my wife was like, I really don't like her you talking to her. And I'm like, I don't know why. What's going on, She just checking on me because her grandmother, not her grandmother, her aunt lived down the street from me. And when I was a kid, she lived down the street from me when I was a kid. She still lives in her aunt still lived in the same house. And it's like, she's right down the road, dude. I could go out of my mama's house, go down, hit the circle, which is the circle is like 2 houses down. Hit the circle, the cul-de-sac, some people might call it. And then 3 houses down from that, 3 or 4 houses down from that, that's where her aunt lived. So that, you know, we kind of had close family ties together. But either way it goes, I'm sitting there like, okay, Miss, you know, her aunt's right there. We talked, you know, I talked to her aunt. Things are cool. So I decide, you know, she's just, you know, I'm just like, okay, she's just being friendly, right? So my wife, me and my wife, we stayed together for years. We've been together maybe about 2 years or something like that. And my wife, maybe, about a year, maybe 2. We decided to get married. So me and my wife get married. During this time frame, or after my wife and I get married, my dad passes away. So my dad passes away. She hears about it from her aunt and calls me and asks me how I'm doing, what's going on, et cetera, et cetera. And she calls me on the phone and she's like, you know, do you need me to come, et cetera, and all this other stuff. Now, we hadn't talked in like 6 months, maybe 6, 7 months, something, I don't know. It was like, now we ain't talked in maybe a little bit longer than that. So me, you know, since the last time we talked, me and my wife got married. All right? And I'm not, you know, I'm not even thinking about it. You know, me and my wife get married. We get married. That's how I look at it, right? So she calls me and she's asking me if she should come and comfort me and all this other stuff and everything like that because of my father's death. And I just, on the phone, I just casually say, nah, that's okay. I got my wife. My wife will be there. She then goes, huh? And then she goes, oh, what do you mean wife? You mean wifey, like your brother always says about his girlfriend back in the day. And I was like, nah. Oh, we ain't talked in a while. Since the last time we talked, I got married. And she goes, what do you mean? I'm sitting there, I got married, you know? And then she sits there and she's like, she hangs the phone up, mad. She hangs the phone up. And then after she hangs the phone up, after she hangs the phone up, oh man, come on, don't die. I'm sitting there like, okay, I don't know why she mad. We ain't talked in a bit. And you know, it's not like we talk on a regular basis, you know. And so then she calls me right back, maybe about a few minutes later, and she's mad as heck with me. And she's like, I can't believe you led me on, blah, 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 blah. That's what she tells me. She's like, I can't believe you led me on. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, I told you it'd be a cold day in hell before I would ever trust you again. Or we could, you know, we could ever be together. And I said, hell hasn't frozen over. So I don't understand how you think I led you on. And she's like, and then I know she realized and remembers I told her that. She hung the phone up. She was like, blah, blah, blah. She hung the phone up and she never talked to me again. She never talked to me again. But that's the prime mentality I have. There was 2 guys in her life. Now, what probably was going on was when I went to go see her in Texas, I think she was already talking to some dude. But she liked me because we never left her house. Nah, my wife did. I will say my wife was like, see, I told you. And I was like, whoa, what you mean? How am I supposed to know this? I told her flat out that we would never be together. 20, hey, you're on a 20 view streak. Are we dead yet? Nice, thank you. But I told her flat out that we would never be together. But somehow my wife realized that this girl had ill intentions. I didn't even think it as, my wife never met her. We talked on the phone. I talked on the phone in front of my wife. That's the thing. I was not hiding anything. I didn't even worry about it because I didn't care. It was like, to me, she was just another, like a friend. I mean, that's how it was to me. It's like you talking to your boy on the phone. That's how I viewed me talking to this girl. But my wife, for some reason, in the back of her head, she was like, I don't trust this girl. And I was like, I don't know what you mean. Now, let me bring some other stuff up. So that ex was crazy. She was. Now let me bring another thing up. There was this girl that I knew called Kim. I don't mind saying her name because she's awesome as all outdoors. We're friends. All right. So Kim, my wife allowed me to go down to Texas to go see Kim. When I was on a business trip, I asked my wife if I could see Kim, and Kim was in another city, and it was perfectly fine, right? To go see her while I was on this trip, because I asked her, I said, hey, can I go see Kim? She's right down the road. She's in another city adjacent to where I am. I can just drive over to go see her and everything that I haven't seen her in a while, blah, 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 blah. Now, Kim, initially, Kim was a girl I was trying to sleep with. I was not, my wife knows about it and everything like that. I really wanted to be with Kim, but Kim and I never went that way. We became friends. And so what happened was I actually, oh, wow, them poison ate me alive. So what happened was Kim, I went to go see her and everything like that. So nothing, my wife has no problems with her. And then I remember one time I asked my wife, asked Kim was sitting there and she was like, she was gonna buy a house and stuff like that and everything like that. And she was sitting there and and we started talking about some stuff. And I was like, hey, you need some help? I can come down and come help you move and stuff like that. She was like, okay, cool. But this is what Kim did. Kim said, hey, I need to talk to your wife. And I was like, okay, no problem. And she wanted to talk to my wife. And this is how cool Kim is. Kim said, I'm gonna talk to your wife. And she wanted to talk to my wife for one reason and one reason only. To know that it was okay for her, for me to come down there and spend time with, because if I was going to be sleeping at her house, right? She wanted to call my wife and get A-OK. It is fine. I do not want to start any problems. I don't want any issues. I don't want him to be lying, saying, oh yeah, my wife said I can come see you and come. Oh my gosh, that poison ate me alive again. To come see you and it really be me trying to go down there to creep. She wanted to make sure it was up on the up and up. And that's the cool thing about Kim. And my wife has no problems with me talking to Kim on the phone, talking to things. So my wife has like that sixth sense. And any guys that don't know this, your wife, your girl has a sixth sense. She knows when a girl is trying to get with you, or she's in the wings, trying to be sitting back. Your wife knows that stuff. She understands that stuff. She like, this girl's trying to creep on my husband. I know it. You know, she knows these things. Don't think she don't. She knows these things.
I can't do that yet.
Hold up, let me try to get this so I don't die. There we go. All right, so like I was saying, your wife knows these things. You might not know it, but your wife knows these things. Trust your wife's instincts, people. Trust your wife's instincts. They still crazy. Don't automatically agree and be like, okay, immediately when she says something, just be like 100%. No, don't do that. That's even worse. But all in all, we were talking about don't be second fiddle. Do not allow a girl to put you as the second choice. Cause and I'm gonna tell you another reason why you don't want a girl to ever view you as the second choice. Because if she viewed you as the second choice, she will always view you as the second choice. She will always be like, oh, there was another guy who was better. That other guy was the better guy, or that other guy would have been better. So that is the reason why I tell you never accept second best from any woman. Never be the second choice, always be the primary choice. I know it's a weird thing to say it that way, but hey, that's just the way it is, you know? But also be aware that you can't type into thinking of a situation like that, trying to think of a situation of what, where a girl chose you to be second. Oh, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, yeah, it happened, you just didn't know about it. Oh yeah, that happened. That happens. See, but this is the thing. Ooh, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, this happened to me while I was in the military. So we were sitting there and I met this one girl. She was really, she was cool. I'm not gonna say that I loved her or I was in love with this girl, because I was not. Okay. This was one of those, met her at a club. We started hanging. I went to her house. I actually went to her trailer. And my friends and I, we were sitting there. We were just met. We hung out one weekend, and then my boy Penn. I don't know his first name. I'm sorry to say his name was Penn. His last name was Penn. So we in the military, you always go by the last names. So his name was Penn. I went to go see her. He went over like Friday, like a night, some night. I forgot what it was. And it looked like old girl and him were hitting it off really well. He came back to me and he was like, hey, dude, I wanna talk to you. Are you interested in old girl? Because if you are, I'm out. I'm not gonna talk to her, anything like that. But we look like we had chemistry. It looked like we had chemistry, and I like her. I think she's really cool and everything like that. He came to me and I was like, dude, go ahead, whatever, you're good. He's like, you sure, man? Because I'm not trying to. And I was like, dude, it's fine. We just met. It's fine. So then him and her start dating. Fast forward a year, they get married. My boy and her have been married for like, I don't know how many years. Well, shoot, if they still married, it's like got to be 30 some odd years they've been together. But they, I have to give it to my boy. My boy, he did it the right way. Unlike your friend, because your friend wouldn't be my friend anymore. Your friend would not be my friend anymore. The reason why is he didn't have the self-respect to ask questions and to give the self-respect to be like, look, this is gonna happen. Now, I will say the following. I actually have had this happen a few times. My boys have always been my boys. And I mean, we've always, I didn't find out till much later. See, that's terrible. That's terrible. That's not your friend. That was never your friend. That was never your friend. Now, I lived with a dude named Kevin. This was while I was living in South Carolina. I was living in South Carolina at the time. So me and my boy Kevin, we living together. I had this girl that she was, we were not necessarily boyfriend and girlfriend. We were just hooking up, okay? Now, I'm leaving because I got to go to work, right? So I'm leaving because I got to go to work. Kevin is like, oh, girl look like she wanna get it and everything, like she wants to give it up. And so what happens is my boy Kevin contacts me. He sneaks off, goes to the bathroom, calls me, and he says, hey, old girl looks like ended up running into him and his husband. He confessed the drama back, and it was he was jealous. He might have done it just to show he wasn't gay. That could have been one of the things. But either way it goes, that was foul. But my boy Kevin called me, right? So my boy Kevin calls me. I'm sitting there like, okay, what's going on? And my boy Kevin calls me. He tells me, "Hey, I think old girl wants wants to get with me. You dude, what is she? Is she? Or he wanted him." That's true. That's true. I didn't even think about that one. You are terrible, like Anthony. You are terrible. But that might be a truthful statement, like Anthony. That might be a truthful statement. All right, so what happens is Kevin calls me. Kevin says, "Hey, I think old girl wants to get with me. Blah 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 blah." do you like her? Or I'm not gonna do anything if you like her. If you want to be, if that's your girl, I'm not gonna do anything. And I told him, go ahead, dude. And he was like, are you sure? I don't want to, I don't want to mess up our friendship. I don't want to mess up our, you my boy. And I was like, dude, just go ahead and do it. It's not a problem and everything like that. So he gets together with the old girl, and then she comes back like the next day, or the day after or something like that, comes back to come by and come visits me. And she's trying to be all chummy and everything like that with me and everything like that. And I'm sitting there, I'm cordial. I'm 100% cordial. I was 100% cordial with old girl. She sat there and she was like, hey, how about, and I told her, I said, hey, blah, blah, I know you slept with Kevin. She was like, no, I wouldn't have done that. I said, look, I know you did. So don't even try to play games. I said, my boy let me know beforehand that it was gonna happen. And then she got appalled. She got upset. She said this is the funny thing. She said we were the ones who were trading her around. Like she wasn't a person. She tried to make it seem like we did something wrong. I said, no, you and I were supposed to be together, right? You were the one who decided that you wanted to be with him over me. And I told her, I said, that's fine. You can be with him. And she was sitting there and she was like, which is messed up. She was sitting there trying to tell me, but he wasn't as good as you, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I don't care. That ain't how it works. You made a choice. Your choice was him. I ain't gonna have you come back to me. So, which is one of those things. She might have been getting together with me just so she can get together with Kevin. I don't know. All I can say is I wasn't gonna be second fiddle. But yeah, I had a very lively young life. You don't understand what logic? Like, have you ever went after a girl to get closer to the real target? Yeah. Yeah. It didn't happen that way. It didn't. Hey, whoa. It's not my fault. They had a friend group. The girl I would wanted to be with, she didn't look like she was interested. Her friend looked like they were interested. I went with the friend. It is not my fault. You make it seem like I was being cold. No. All right. So tell me about that one. How did that go over? Did they ever find out? And did you get close to the target? Did you ever hit your mark? That's just so that I've done that. I mean, I took my shot, got shot down cold. Her friend ended up being real cool. We hit it off, had a nice little summer fling. Understandable. Understandable. But you're understanding what I mean. I mean, when I think about it, I think, look, I'll be honest. When I think about it, my life, all the experiences I had. Oh, I never finished my story. I just realized it. I never finished that story about my ex. So the model girl. Let me go ahead and break this down so everybody remember the model girl I was talking about, right? Where she was a drunk. Let me tell you what happened, and this is one of the reasons why we couldn't be together. So we go to a company function. So the company function is over. I decide to go to the bathroom. So I go down the hall from the conference room that the company rented out. They rented out this conference room at this hotel, etc. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay. I go head to the bathroom. I come back. She's not in. I'm like, she's not here. I don't know where in the heck she went. So I'm now in the conference room. Her bag is still there. So I'm trying to figure out what in the world. Her purse is still on the thing. So I'm sitting there like, what the heck? Where is she? What's going on? So I go in to where her chair is and where the purse is. And then I look over. And so in the conference room, they had this door right there in the back, and it had a room. The room was where they were taking all the stuff and everything that she is in the room. She is in the room taking, because they take all the wine bottles and everything like that, and they were all put on the cart. She is standing there while the people that are working there, and she's standing there and she's sitting there. She's taking the bottles of wine, and she's just like finishing off every bottle of wine. Every bottle of wine. She was not going to let them toss the wine or anything. She was going to drink every single bottle. So I'm sitting there like, what in the heck? And so I realized at that point, I'm down. I don't want to be with this model. She is a serious drunk, which means if we stay together, and because let's just be honest, if we would have stayed together, I would have been taking care of her. She would have probably tried to go into her modeling career, which means she would have been doing more modeling than anything else. So she would have been doing more drugs and everything like that, probably doing drugs and drinking, because she already showed that she was an alcoholic and she couldn't control herself. So I was like, can't, I can't be with this girl. This girl, no, not gonna happen. So during this whole time frame of us being together, I stayed with her for a little while longer. Now, I think one of the problems, or one of the reasons we broke up as well, was because at that point, I realized I really didn't want to be with her because there was just too much problems. I will say the following, though. You learn these things and you learn from these things.
How can I?
Excuse me, sorry, couldn't get to the button fast enough. Addiction is some nasty stuff. Yep. Especially alcohol, benzos. Need too many make it back from that. Not too many make it back from that. That's true. That is very true. I was like shocked. I was actually shocked. And the worst thing about it is you sit there and you think, well, what can I do to help? Because, you know, don't get me wrong, I did like old girl. I did think the old girl was fine, blah blah, and all the other good stuff, but I could not accept that. Now, fast forward from her 2 girlfriends later. 2 girlfriends later, or is that 3 girlfriends later? No, 2 girlfriends later. I'm with my wife, right? Well, at the time we were boyfriend, girlfriend. So I go to a company function with my wife. Now I'm at this company function. Now company functions, okay, so some people might not know this, but a lot of companies, when they have these company functions, alcohol is free. Well, back in the day, it used to be free. Okay, let me rephrase that, because alcohol with companies have changed from what they used to be. Okay, what I mean by that is, okay, back when I was younger, you go to a company function, et cetera, it was an open tab. You could get as drunk as you wanted. People would be fall down, blasted drunk. Okay? And this was fine. That was fine. It was like completely okay back in the late 90s. Late 90s, early 2000s. It was okay. Companies had no problems getting their employees smash drunk. Okay, so we are at a company function. The company the company I was working for had I'll be honest, the company I was working for had taken out a reservation at Disney World in Florida. And so Disney World, we're at Disney World, and we go from our resort location. We walk from the resort location over to a restaurant that they had reserved. They reserved this restaurant. It's like you walk out of the resort, you walk down the road, walk down the sidewalk, went over this bridge, and then you walk down, and then there was the restaurant that they had taken. So me and my wife, we're sitting there and they're giving free drinks. I mean, they are giving free drinks to the point that my wife, she's like, hey, it's free drinks. My wife is consuming. And this I almost took my wife and like, you know, this was a pivotal point in my relationship with my wife. I ain't gonna deny. This is what happened. So I'm sitting there and she's drinking. You can tell she's starting to get drunk. Now, my wife is starting to get drunk. The lady across from me, who's married to this other dude I work with, she's starting to get drunk. And I look at my wife, and the lady comes by and asks my wife if she wants another drink. And when my wife's like, yeah, and I say no, she doesn't want another drink. My wife looks at me and she says, it's free. And then I put my hand on her and I tell her, no more drinking. And then she just looks at me and she says, it's okay, no more. And then my wife went to the bathroom with the other lady and they came back, and then we finished eating and we were heading back. And my wife didn't realize that she was getting so drunk. She could not walk. She was wearing heels. And because that walk from the restaurant back across the bridge and into the resort had cobblestones, and she could not navigate the cobblestones. She had to take her high heels off and walk barefoot from there back to the resort because of the unevenness of the cobblestones, et cetera. And she realized that she was drunk as all outdoors. And she was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I was that drunk and everything like that. And I told her, I said, look, I am not going to deal with an alcoholic. I am very happy that you at least took the cue from me when I told you couldn't drink anymore. And she was like, well, it was free. And I was like, yeah, but you have to understand, I work with these people. And if you get sloppy drunk like this other lady, what's going to happen? Other people. So yeah, but that was a pivotal point in the relationship with my wife. I was like, I'm not dating an alcoholic. Like that 2 girlfriends earlier, I was like, if it looks like she gonna be like that, I'm not gonna deal with it. Cause I was concerned that she was gonna be like that model. I was concerned that she was gonna be like that model. She's gonna be like, oh, I'm a drink, and I'm gonna be sitting around drinking. Woo! Look at that, baby. So I was concerned when you know, me and my wife have had a system for weddings, social events, things like that. What's the system that you have? I don't drink. I actually am allergic to alcohol, so I don't drink. So my system is she drinks all she wants until I tell her to stop. And then after I tell her to stop, we good. Ah, okay. If it was her friend's work event, whatever, she was the drinker, I was the designated driver, and vice versa. Got it, got it. That's a good system. That's a good system. It actually, I can't deny that system. That's a great system. Now my family, they used to, my family used to. So my family, we would get together for these events where we would all get together, and since I don't drink alcohol at all, everybody wants to ride with me. Everybody wants to be like in my vehicle, because guess what? If they riding with me, they can get as drunk as they want. They know I'm gonna take care of them and get them back home safely. I was the designated driver. And also, when I was younger, I actually was a lead foot. I mean, lead foot. So we were driving, or we were my cousins. We went to go see my grandmother, and this was before she had passed. And so my grandmother lived in Georgetown. Hold up. She knew she was hold up. Man was at my cousin's wedding. She knew she was the designated driver, got sloppy drunk. You were pissed? That was the days before Uber. Ah, okay. So what happened was we went to go see my family in Georgetown. So Charleston, South Carolina is, I don't know how far from, let me see here, Georgetown, South Carolina to Charleston, South Carolina. An hour and 19 minutes. That's how long it takes to drive from Georgetown, South Carolina to Charleston, South Carolina. Now, I'm sitting there, and my cousin was supposed to be driving, coming in. He's got a plane. It's supposed to get there. Nobody had gone. Nobody thought, it was like, hey, we'll be there as soon as we can, et cetera, et cetera. So it was like me and my other cousin, we jump in either her car or my car. I think it was her car. We jump into her car, and we're supposed to go pick him up. I get there in like it's an hour 10 minutes to get there. Takes me maybe 45 minutes. Somewhere around 35, 45 minutes. I get to Charleston. He's like, I thought I was gonna be waiting here for forever. And I was like, nah, man, I got you. And then I get him and drive all the way back to Georgetown. And it only took us like an hour, maybe almost an hour and a half or something like that. And everybody was like, holy, and so they gave me a nickname. My nickname in my family is J Roland, because I'd get in a car and I'd be gone. It's like, oh, you need me to get somewhere? Not a problem. We can do this. And so I would sit there and I'd jump in the car, boom, I'm out. And then I come back. And I was just that fast at driving. Ooh, which one? Ooh. Reduced flash charges used. So that's what I would sit there and I'd be gone, out there. Now, in North Carolina, going from North Carolina, you got a lot of roads, and I would be I used to live in this one small town, and there used to be like a, what you call it, there was like I can't think of the name of it. Oh, these back roads. So back in the day, you had this sports car, right? And in the sports car, I'm riding, you know. And so in the South, you have roads, and they're two lane roads, and they're considered highways. Highway 83 or something like that, and something like that, right? So you're riding this highway, and they got these 2-lane roads, and you're riding, right? The speed on those highways. So got a little payoff party going on this afternoon. Got to help the old lady prep. Oh, cool. Nice talking to you, gents. Hey, Ferb, it was good talking to you, man. I ain't talked to you in a while, dude. I was happy to see you online. Hey, man, no problem. I'll catch you later. I will catch you later. So you could do these 2-lane roads, and at night, have a good one. Yeah. So at night, you be driving these roads, and there's nobody on them, right? So you're sitting there and you're driving. And I remember almost killing myself riding these roads because it's like, oh, it's a 45-mile-an-hour curve. It's a banking curve, but it's a 45-mile-an-hour curve. I'm sitting there doing 60, maybe 70. And so how I would get around this curve was it banks like this, right? And I'm going this way, so I'm supposed to be on the outside lane. In the South, there used to be, back in the day when I was younger, and I didn't think about it because not a lot of people did it where I was, but there was this thing where people would turn off their headlights and drive down the road in complete darkness. So I'm sitting there, and how you get around a curb that's a 45-mile-an-hour banking curb, and you're doing 60, 70 miles an hour, the only way to get around that curb is to, before you get to the curb, jump into the oncoming lane and take that curb. And what happens is you hit that inside, and you'll hit the inside of that curb, and it's like you hear your tires, and you sliding a little bit, but you're just you take that bank and you come out of the curb. And so I jumped into the inside lane. I'm in oncoming traffic lane. There's no traffic coming because I got my lights on. I don't see any lights coming to this curb. So I'm sitting there, I pop into this lane, and I start in that lane, and you hear, and I slide out of that lane into my lane at the exact time that a car is coming my way with its lights off. And I'm going. I'm still going. I see them hit their brakes. They turn on their lights and everything like that and everything. But I'm sitting there, almost killed myself by accident. Well, it wasn't an accident. Well, it would have been a real terrible accident, but it was one of those ones that's like, come on, people. This wouldn't have happened if you would have left your lights on, but at the same time, this wouldn't have happened if I wasn't driving too fast for a curve. You have to go eat real quick, Rune? No problem, man. No problem. I'm here. I'm gonna be around. I'll be here. I'm just killing stuff. I gotta get through this so I can get the maps. I really gotta get the maps, and I need to increase my gear, change my gear, so I can get the maps. So should I don't know when I should actually try to change my gear, because I really need to change my gear. What's everybody else think? So I was thinking about changing my gear right about the time that I get to that I open up the time warp and just get my gear upgraded around about then, but ooh, you know what I did? I did wrong. I took a chaos resistance, and I shouldn't have took chaos resistance. I should have took one of the other things. That's what happens when you screw up. And the reason why I shouldn't have took chaos resistance is, what if I want to do chaos inoculation? That was a wasted configuration. If I do chaos inoculation, I won't need that chaos resistance. I could have used that to get one of the other benefits instead of that benefit for chaos inoculation. That was a dummy move. Wasted benefit that they gave me. Dun 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 dun. Let's go, let's go. So I took care of that one creature in that one, so that's good. Now what I need to do is I think it's in the next area that I got this guy I gotta kill. Jeweler's orb. Gotta love those things. I need the bigger jeweler's orb. You know what they really need to do? They need to get some recipes in so I can sell like 3 or 4 jeweler's orb and get a greater jeweler's orb, or you know, something like that. They need to start putting that in the game. Either that, or they need to, you know, make sure that I can get the better jeweler orb, or you know. Need mana. There we go. There we go. So the world right now is basically this world is all about me getting into the maps and running map. Oh. Okay, so we're gonna have to get some stuff taken care of. Let's see here. That goes in the sales section. This goes in the sales section. Let's see here. Yep. Oh, okay. Little damage. Little damage. Exposure. So this will give me 40% more exposure configuration. If I do 1, 2, 3, 4. I can do that. I can get a 50% increase exposure. 50%. This one, exposures you inflict lowers the affected resistance by additional 20%. So my exposure with a 50% increase on top of that would mean, ooh, that could make some serious negatives. I think I'm gonna go that route. There we go, baby. Ooh, love it. Infested Barrens, baby. Infested Barrens. There we go. You know how you try to keep your hands hydrated and everything like that, and get lotion and stuff like that, and keep your hands hydrated? I have this one issue, and it drives me crazy. On my thumb, and it only happens on the thumb. It's this thumb right here. The cuticle splits like right at the edge of the thing, and it drives me crazy if I don't. And it happens where I don't actually know that it's there until real late. Like until it splits. Then when it splits, it's like I gotta constantly put you know things on it and everything like that and everything. But all in all, we're working. All right, let's do this. There we go, baby. Let's go, let's go. Nope, not going in there yet. So I got a question. This is just me asking because I don't know. Has anybody six linked one of the staffs or wands and use the powers from the staff or wand as your main power? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. You know what I need? I need to get more power. No, I'm just joking. I need more mana regen. More mana regen would be very, very good. The reason why I need more mana regen still is the same thing that I had before. What I said, mana regen is at 88. It takes 109 to cast, and I'm casting almost 2 of them a second. So what I need to have at least minimum mana regen from this character is gonna be at least 106. So I need to increase my mana and increase my mana regen, so I can actually cast spells. If I can do that, I'll be fine. Ooh.
This looks promising. I should ask Alva about this. The Val use this. I've never keep up the search.
Waypoint. That's how we do. I'll take that. Take that. I'd be playing that if it wasn't $30 at the moment. Dude, I really wish I could have gave you a key code.
Good day to you.
I was on every day. There was a bunch of people that were taking the giveaways. I would have preferred, one of the guys from, that standardly watch me get one of the free codes. I gave away at least 5 free codes. I had a bunch of extra codes, and I was like giving them. I was doing giveaways every day when I released. No, they didn't give out keys. Oh, I didn't know they get no. What happened was my wife bought me the huge pack, the biggest pack that you can get, $400 pack for Christmas. That was my Christmas gift from her. And when you did that huge pack, every tier gave an extra key code. So I got a free key code because I've been supporting the game for forever. Then my wife gave me all the free codes, and when she gave me the free codes, or when she bought the thing, it gave me free codes. So I had free codes. So every day during release, I had a giveaway. And so I did the giveaway every day during the release, giving away codes. People would come into the channel, and it would be only like 2 or 3 people in the code configuration for the giveaway. There was one day that there was only 1 person in the giveaway, and I was like, and they got the code. But I wish you would have known or would have been around then, because some of those days I was streaming pretty long too. There was a couple of days that nobody wanted the giveaway, and so I stayed on an extra 4 hours from when I was supposed to draw the giveaway. I stayed on for an extra 4 hours so that I can get somebody into the giveaway, so I can give away the give away a code. Oh. No. I'm just saying that I understand that you know, I wouldn't expect you to be just watching for the free stuff, but I'm just saying I wish you would have been around during that time frame, because then you would have been able to get a free code. You'd have been able to get a free code, get in and play, and see how the game is, because the game is actually pretty fun. The risk reward configuration for it to me is much better than it is for PoE 1. I'm gonna have to change my goal. So during the release, my goal was 20 subs. Now that the release is done, I'm gonna go back down to my standard goal, which is 10. I don't ask for much. Now, there were some people that did these like subathons. They were like online for like, you know, days on end. That wasn't gonna be me. Wasn't gonna be me. I need to sleep, go to work. I talk all kind of craziness, but you know, I enjoy streaming, but I don't know. I will tell you, I'll tell you this. I will become a full-time streamer. I will become a full-time streamer when I retire. When I retire and I'm like, okay, there ain't nothing else for me to do, I'll become a full-time streamer. When I'm bored out my mind, I ain't got nothing. Man, I wish I had something to do. That's when I'll become a full-time streamer. Oh, there's a wand. Should put that in there too. Sales this wand. Hold on a second. I'm back. Welcome back. By the way, Mal, do you have any more information about the new league is coming out? End of the month is for the new league for PoE 1. So that means that the hype cycle will happen should be starting sometime about this upcoming week. We should have some information about that, and it probably will be brought up tomorrow on Tavern Talk. So tomorrow there's a Tavern Talk that is done by Gazzy TV and DM. I forgot what his Darth macro transactions or something like that, or I forgot what his DM is an abbreviation. They should ask that question tomorrow, and I do plan on sometime tomorrow being on dark macro transaction. Okay, there you go. So microtransaction. Okay, so he's gonna be. They're gonna have their thing tomorrow. So that would, I would say, probably tomorrow we can ask that question during their stream of the exact when the exact hype cycle will start. But I will be honest, I don't know if I'm really gonna want to play PoE 1. I'm just enjoying PoE 2 too much. I will tell you the reason. The reason why I'm saying that is that there's the risk reward from I'm getting too much of a dopamine rush when I see a yellow drop in this game. Inside of PoE 1, I just don't get, I'm not getting, because I went back to play, trust me, I went back to play a couple of times already just to get to see the differences in play. And it just doesn't feel. Did they address the issues that were present in PoE? They're still addressing the issues in PoE 2. It's not, they got, tomorrow there's supposed to be an announcement and then a tavern talk. So the announcement, I believe, is going to probably be, hey, hype cycle is going to start for the PoE 1. Also, I believe that the announcement is going to be what they want to do moving forward for PoE 2. I think it is supposed to be an announcement on PoE 2, a dev announcement about what's going on with PoE 2. That's what tomorrow is. The tavern talk is about PoE itself, which would mean PoE 1 and 2. So for me, so this is the reason why I said I don't know if I'm gonna be hyped up on playing PoE 1, even if they come out with a new season or new league. When I went back to play PoE 1, this is recently, I realized that I just didn't care about what hit the ground. If it wasn't money, it just wasn't worth anything. Don't do anything except, so I feel that in the PoE 2 though, I get excited when things drop and hit the ground. Is there also any info about how PoE 2 will be priced? Will it be free with the same method as PoE 1, or will it be 40, 50 euro game? It is actually a free game. It will be a free game with microtransactions. If you wanted to get into the early access, they forced you to pay $30, or if you spent money over the years, you got a code, a lycanthropy. Oh, I just thought about that. How much money have you spent over the years on PoE? Okay, so never mind. I was about to say, if you spent over the last 10 years, if you spent money over the last 10 years, then if you go into your account and look over on the thing, you had a free key code. That's why I was asking. I was like, oh, hold up. Well, you had to hit a certain threshold. You had to hit a certain threshold of money spent. So I think it was like anybody who spent $400 over 10 years got a free key code. But I can't guarantee it because I don't know what the threshold was. I didn't care because I knew I spent a ton of money over the years, because what I would do is every season to support PoE 1, I would buy a supporter pack or my wife would buy a supporter pack. So it was back and forth between us. I'd buy one season, she'd buy one the next season. I'd buy one season, she'd buy one another season. So over 10 years worth of play, guess what? We made that mark. We have hit it, you know? So I knew I was going to get a code no matter what.
Servi was right. The Azak must be dealt with. You are confident? I'll wait here for now. Hurry.
Man, I do miss the Chaos Poison Spark. That one build was so satisfying. I don't understand why they got rid of the gem in standard. There we go. That one build was the most money I've ever had. I have a mage blood. Like, darn, that was one powerful build. Yep, I can understand that. I can understand that. I caught a bot with my mod. It deleted their message. Yeah. You know, I was getting tired of having to manually ban people and stuff like that. So I actually adjusted I actually did an actual streamer thing, which is, hey, if it's a bot, just delete it. Oh, it did let it through in the first place? That's even better. That's even better. I'm trying to be a better streamer. Really, really, trust me, I am. If y'all don't tell me things are broke and everything like that, I don't even go back and look at my own streams to see if there's anything wrong with them or anything like that. Hey, oh, you did spend $10 once? Nice. I don't know if that gets you a key code, but you spent $10. That's a good thing. Support the game, sir. Support the game. All right. So you got your money's worth? Wow, I almost killed myself there. Bam. Bing. Also, I was able to get a new lease card this year. Ah, cool. I'm excited, and I probably got going to pick the Skoda Rock NLG, but some supporter packs are kind of insane. 500 euro. Yeah, the 500 euro one I think is the supporter pack that I never do. Well, I did it. My wife got it for me for Christmas, but the supporter packs that I normally get are the ones that are like the $90. Well, it used to be $60. Now they have the $90. So before it used to be like you had 30 and 60. And then POE1 at some point decided, hey, what we're going to do is we're going to do a 30, 60, and 90. So the best bang for your buck was the 91 at that time, but that's a lot more money. So that because when it used to be like the 3061, my wife and I could get packs. When they went to the $90 one, it was like, my wife gets a pack, I'll get a pack. My wife gets a pack, I'll get a pack. Because I'm sorry to say, that's too much money. Every 3 or 4 months, spending $90, that was killing me. 30, 60, so it's now 30, 60, 100. Ooh, that's terrible. Let's do this one. More damage, more damage. $100 is like 2 or 3 days worth of work. Yeah. I'm not going to discuss that. I'm just going to be like, you're right. There we go. Ooh, look at that. Okay, after taxes, I mean, I just realized again that I'm living in one of the highest taxes countries. So how's life been since it's been a while since I was able to drop in? Everything good with the wife, and how is your son doing in the military? He came back for Christmas. We actually had a fun time. I was sick as a dog the whole entire time he was here. He went back to the military, so I haven't heard from him in a while, which I need to text him and find out what's been going on, because he went back on the 4th. We've texted a few times, but I haven't heard anything from him. So normally what happens is we play games together on the weekends. So I don't know if we're going to continue playing games on the weekends or what, because he's doing his thing. So that's so that's what he's been doing. You had too much to drink this holidays? Well, that's not a bad thing exactly. I mean, sometimes you gotta enjoy yourself. I'm actually considering, this is me. I'm actually considering losing weight. Losing a little weight. I gotta get myself back down to I gotta get myself back down to sexy weight. You know, that weight where it's like, yeah, you look good. I gotta get myself back down to that weight. You hadn't had any alcohol in the last 2 months? Ooh, why not? Well, don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you should be drinking, because I don't drink, but I'm just curious why you haven't been drinking. Hello, next gen. How's it going? Oh, just because I have been driving the last few weeks, and I don't drink during the week since work. Agreed. Inside of our job configuration, yeah, I can understand that. Because especially if you don't know when you're going to get called to fix an issue or do something like that. I think me not drinking actually comes in real handy, because because I'm more of a senior, when stuff breaks and people need me, they always know that, oh, I can call him and he's not gonna be like unable to communicate or help because he's incapacitated. Beautiful. 40 spirit. That's a great thing. Y'all might not realize it, but that's really a great thing. That's more spirit that I can use for my strange build that I'm trying to build. Well, I do know most of the times I get called in to fix things, since we have an on-call rotation, and even if I'm drunk, I don't change much, slow my words. I can still fix stuff, but I haven't drunk myself into such a state since long while. Well, see, I can understand that, but see what I mean by that. What I mean is, so okay, I can agree on that statement, right? You got an on-call rotation. My on-call rotation is I'm 24/7. I don't care if other people don't believe it, but it's the way it is. If somebody is unable to figure out something, because I am more of a senior engineer, they're going to reach out to an escalation point. I am going to be that escalation point. And so if I could drink, I think it would be bad for me to drink, because as soon as I started drinking, they would somebody would contact me. Now, slurring words, things like that, I don't slur words either, but I don't slur my words either, but if it comes down to it, people would sit there and they would. I'd rather have clear thought process than wandering, because even though you might feel that you have a coherent thought process, be around people that get drunk. They do not have coherent thought processes. Fair. I also help when I notice something going wrong, since I'm curious. I never have a coherent thought process. That's funny. Woohoo! I got an exalted. I'm, as they say, the mother language from the heel to the tree branch, or as an American call it, scatterbrained. Thanks, Lycanthropy, thanks. Yeah, I'm very happy I got that. Okay, so let's see here. What do we got? We got freeze, bleeding, poison, ignite, and shock. I always like the poison one. The poison one is good.
It was my honor to assist you. Farewell.
What have you learned?
What have I learned? Okay, let's see here. No, divines are okay. So at the beginning of the game, at the beginning of the early release, divines weren't worth a lot. Okay, so I actually sold my divines for exalts early on, because they didn't, exalts looked like they were the most expensive thing, right? Then divine orbs, then after everybody started getting to the end game and they started realizing what you could do, etc., divine orbs became the one. So now divine orbs, one divine orb, which I had like 4, now divine orbs like 100, was like 100 exalt per divine orb or something like that. I mean, it got real expensive. Let's see here. I can tell you in just a second. Where's my girl? Alpha. She's over here. So, currency farming, currency exchange. I love a currency exchange. I want a divine orb. I have exalteds. It's 114 exalteds per divine orb. I haven't seen a divine orb since. I dropped like 4 of those suckers early, and I screwed up and sold them. So sad, so sad. But that's okay. It happens. It happens. I should have kept a tighter rein on it. But I needed the exalteds to kind of. I was messing around with my build. So since I was messing around with the build, doing all the different things, trying to get better, I ran into the situation where I spent wrong. All right. So, and just FYI, I made the filter a while ago. So I never went back in there and said, ooh, only have divine drops give that big sound. So that's another reason why my sounds are a little bit off, is because of that. All right, let's get back into here and see where I gotta go. Die, scum. There we go. I think it's about time for me to try to craft up some gear. What do y'all think? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Still breathing. Treasures lost to time. Now yours. Keep your wits about you.
Keep your wits about you. There we go. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. So I gotta go do some stuff as soon as I get off work or off the stream. I gotta go pick up medication. I gotta go shovel my driveway. I gotta get the sidewalks. Yes, snowed the other day and I was lazy. I didn't do the outside of my house. So I gotta do the outside of my house now. Hey, there we go. Oh, this is the one. This is the one. This is gonna be an interesting fight. Interesting fight. Well, it's not that right now. It'll be a little bit further off. But to see this fight and see how the fight goes will be interesting. And then I need to get that, and that. That'll give me. This will give me like 50% extra effect to my what you want to call it? Oh, somebody sent me something. Hey, I made another exalt. Isn't that beautiful? I got 12 exalts now. Yay. And I keep spending exalts like, you know, hey, let's go ahead and spend this one. Let's spend that one. So this is where I am right now. So what I'm trying to do right now is I'm searching for the little thing. And then I got to kill this guy to get a pretty cool stuff and kill that other guy to get some cool stuff. And then I can go into Jekwin's thing and get some stuff done there. I've actually, oh, the 40 spirit. Oh, that reminds me, I can go ahead and need to go over here and start looking at some stuff. Okay, so what I'm looking for, what I'm looking at, I'm looking to see exactly what I can do with my stuff here. Okay, so I got cast on freeze and blasphemy. Blasphemy is going to cost 60 no matter what. So 60 plus my 10 and 20. So I got a 30 here. I take this out. I've got 62. That means I can turn on the barrier, which then allows me to cast Ice Nova. So Ice Nova, I believe, I can do the Ice Nova like that. That gives me a total of, gets me back to what I was doing. So now I have my barrier activate in an invocation. So barrier invocation, what it does is when hit, I gain 1 energy for every 5 energy shield lost. Damage taken. So I get, it's like a damage taken thing, but it's to energy shield. Okay. So 33% increased energy gained. I get a maximum of 500. Maximum energy is 500. Socketed spells consume 10 energy per 0.5 seconds of base cast time when triggered. So when it triggers, cast time is 1 second. So 1 second is going to be 1 second cast time. It means that it's going to be 110 energy per. So for 1 second, it's going to cost me 100. 100 to cast Ice Nova. So Ice Nova is going to come out with 100. Okay. So this is going to be interesting. And the reason why I say it's going to be interesting is because I've been trying to get this configuration together for a bit. And I was waiting for that 40. I was really, really waiting for that 40%. That 40% is going to make a major difference but I need to verify and see exactly if I'm going to generate enough energy fast enough. Now I did lose my health regen. So, but I was getting 50% less health regen anyway, and I'm not really very good at regen right now anyway. So soon I'm gonna have to start investing in gear and things like that to be able to survive. Good morning, Mal. Any good drops? Hey, I got a bunch of Exalt drops today. I've gotten at least 3 Exalt drops throughout the stream, I think. So, and I got this, which is going to be interesting because I plan on putting it on my Infernal list and see if I can get my Infernal list to do different type of damage. So I did pick up a really good drop, which is, no, it's here. I picked up these gloves. So what the gloves do is it takes my fire damage, 100% of the fire damage that I'm doing, and converts it to cold damage. So with the Infernal list, I have a bunch of things which I need to verify if it's going to work, but there's some things on it that makes this kind of look like it's going to be interesting. But I like this glove set. I got to try to get it. I got to try to get back to my Infernal list and see if I can get my Infernal list to work. I also just completed some configurations that allows me to put the barrier invocation on. Now the barrier of invocation allows there were one of them was a area boss, an area boss that dropped it. I killed the area boss and it popped up. So that's one of them. So the other thing that I'm going to try to do, which is, let me show you. Invo. Right here. I want to get this right here, which gives, so this triggered spells do increased spell damage. Spell damage increase, and this one says triggered spells deal 45% increased spell damage. And I get mana back when you invoke a spell. So I want to go down this route so I can get that. That's going to be really good because when you invoke a spell, so there we go. Invocation. This is an invocation. This is when things trigger as well. So when I started, I'm checking to see exactly. I'm almost at that point where it's like, hey, let's go ahead and try this out. I finally got the ability to put all my barriers and all the stuff on. So that's actually a really good thing. So it's moving right along. This is the last push. I think today is going to be the last push before I actually get to maps. I should be able to get to maps. So tomorrow I should be able to start maps and start running maps, but I'm going to have to redo all my gear, which I need exalts to be able to purchase gear pieces that I want. So I'm at that, you're right there, almost touching, but not there yet. So that's where I'm at right now. Is I'm trying to get those things taken care of. So I'm waiting to see exactly if this thing works the way that I want it to. If it does, this is gonna be awesome.
Typical.
So we're gonna see if this works in just a second. So Ice Nova will go off when this gets to 100. So what I want to put on Ice Nova is things like invocation, knockback, and some other things, so that I want to set it up so that when I'm starting to take damage, it kicks them. It'll kick off and kick them back. But first, I gotta verify it works. Did it not go off? No, it didn't go off. It's 100%. Ah, okay. So it's gotta be something I gotta do. Hold on a second. There's got to be something I have to do. Ah, it is something I have to do. Okay. So after it gets to 100%, I have to press a trigger button. And that's what it was. Okay, I didn't know that. See, these are things that I didn't know. I'm like I said, it's something I wanted to put in place. Oh, glass bobble, that works. See, now that I know about that. So I died earlier because to that creature because I really was trying to look to see what invocation was gonna do. Instead of being ready for executing it, I thought it was autoed, and it's not autoed. So what I got to do is I got to do this. That's interesting. Oh, that's gonna be awesome. Okay, I got it. Did that just execute 5 times? I think it did. Let's look at this again. So then my question is, if I put spell echo in it, if I spell echo it, will that kick it off 10 times? Oh, that's even better. That's even better. I just realized something. This barrier of invocation is even better than that. Okay, so the reason why is I can trigger it. It gets to 100%. This is just free spells. free spells. Watch this.
A magnificent sight, but deadly all the same.
That is awesome. So what that means, guys, what that means is it will build itself up to a point of 5. And then I can press the button and get 5 spells to kick off immediately. So then my question comes in. So my question then comes, can I use certain spells? Oh, this might be even better than I expected. Ooh. I am gonna do some evil things with this. I can already see that I'm gonna do some evil things with this. I just gotta get myself to where I need to, where I can do it. So I'm thinking. Hold up, let me do this. G. Spell echo to that. Okay, now this is very interesting. We'll see if this works. It does. Spell echo will kick off from there. Spell echo does kick off. So when it kicks off the energy from the barrier, it will kick it off. So what happens is I can spell echo whatever's in there. Now this could be even better if I gotta look at some things. Because this is where fooling around with the system could make it really interesting. So let's look at some stuff. Okay. So mechanic wise. Oh wow. Yeah, I need to upgrade my crossbow anyway. Calls down a massive ice from the sky, dealing high damage at a targeted location. Targeting close to you will cause you to jump back as you cast. Plus 1 second to total cast.
Comet calls down a massive icy chunk from the sky. Target close to your character to dodge backwards as you cast. Comet calls down a massive icy chunk from the sky.
Okay, so this might actually be interesting. Comet. We'll pull Comet. G. I. Change that out. So, what I'm trying to do, just so everybody, I stepped away. Did the item work like you thought? The configuration is working like I thought. Yes, it is. It is. And it just gave me an idea that, ooh, if this works out right now, I'm about to test. I'm testing something as well right now. So if this does work, this could be really devastating. But the problem is it's going to eat up all my mana. It'll eat my, it's going to be one of those ones that's like when you kick it off, all your mana disappears. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but ooh, it could be a bad thing. We will see in just a minute. I'm going back in to test it back out in just a second. So what I did was I have a power, and one of the powers that I got is I was going to use Ice Nova, but since it's a trigger, you got to trigger it yourself. It doesn't work exactly the same way I wanted it to. So I got to trigger it myself. Since I'm triggering it myself, it might not work with that power. Ooh, that's interesting. So what I did was I switched up a power. It does work. Okay, so let's do this. Does it work? Yeah. It'll eat my mana up, but it definitely did kick out that. So there's a comet that came down and it doubled it up. What happened is the comet doubled up. It won't. And so comet hit twice. You saw the ice ball hit the ground twice. It went boom, boom. I think that's going to be very, very good. So what happens is you're going to have to build it up. Temple of Chaos. I don't want to go to the Temple of Chaos right now. That's my wife. She's calling Julie to take care of the dogs because she tired. This comes to mind, woman, I'm busy. I gotta go do maps. I'm basically using Frozen Orb. It's Frostbolt. Frostbolt, okay. So this build, I've worked it out so far that this build works really nice in multiple different ways. And what I mean by that is, this particular build basically does two things. She wants her to do the dishes too. All right, so this build is pretty much almost a one-shot build. Okay, what I mean by that is I use two powers. I use this power and this power. Those are the two that I use manually. Okay, now let me explain what the build does, just so everybody is aware. I have two things going on. I have Blasphemy, which is automatically giving me hypothermia on close enemies. It's also automatically giving me clarity. So I'm getting 30% increased mana regeneration automatically for while I'm running or while I'm playing. I have Cast on Freeze. So I build up energy, and you'll see that right here. This energy builds up. When it hits 100%, it automatically casts. It will automatically cast the spells that are inside of the thing. So what it's going to cast is Cold Snap, and it'll cast Ice Nova. So what I could do, and this is one of the things that I'm trying to think about doing, or I'm thinking about doing, is putting, instead of Cold Snap and Ice Nova, I could do Cold Snap and Frost Bomb. And then enhance those, because it has 10 maximum energy per 1 second of the base cast time of socketed spells. So it's gonna be, it takes a lot of energy to build it up. It's gonna store a ton of energy. When it does, it'll cast Cold Snap and Ice Nova, and it does it pretty quickly. Okay, so with Cold Snap, I used to have Cold Snap with Spell Cascade. So what would happen is it would blow up multiple different things that were frozen. I did remove Spell Echo and put Spell Echo inside of the barrier so that I can drop 2 comets back to back. Okay, so cast on damage taken. When it fills up, I can drop 2 comets. Okay, when I press the button. But you have to press the button in this game. It is not a auto thing that happens inside of like with PoE 1. Okay. So one of the things that I'm thinking is running Frost Bomb in here, so that it's Frost Bomb and Cold Snap, and Frost Bomb will just keep coming out when it happens. Okay. And then Cold Snap will just happen when it happens. Okay. So Frost Bomb itself is a lot more mana though. So this is where it could be very tricky. But so pretty much the build is try to freeze things. The more things I freeze or get freeze build up on, other things pop off. Like that one, you saw codes, the see, Ice Nova went off again. That means Cold Snap went off. And as you can see, it builds them up pretty quickly. Okay. So cast on freeze builds up pretty quickly, but you know, I don't use cast on freeze for like a major damage. I use cast on freeze to enhance my Frostbolt. So if I take my cast with damage taken and use it as a, hey, this is where I'm going to blow things up when like I'm gonna use cast with damage taken mainly against bosses. Let's just be honest. I'm gonna take, when I take damage and I start taking damage and getting hit and stuff like that, having the comet for the extra damage is gonna be nice. What I really don't know about is the Ice Nova. I don't believe the Ice Nova, the way that I have it configured, is the best option. Because it's kicking out from me. It's not even targeting my since it's a trigger. Now Spell Echo will trigger all and hit the guy or come off of my Frostbolt. What was happening is what I don't think is going on with the Ice Nova is Ice Nova is not triggering off my Frostbolt. My Frostbolt is not getting an orb shot. It shot from the orb, which is a bad thing. I don't like that part of it because it's gonna hurt. So if I do this, where I take Frost Bomb and put Frost Bomb there, Ice Nova there, can I spell cascade that? If I do this, will it work? Oh, it does. Okay, cool. So this might work out for me. We'll see. on, come on. That was nice. It does work out really nice. So I think that's going to be what I'm going to go into maps with, because that power from that from the barrier invocation, huge. I think that's going to be what we're going to want to do moving forward. I like it. I know you guys are like, why is he so excited? Because that was he did not even, okay, so normally on the last few battles, he's been up here. I had to crack this down. He falls down. I battle him a little bit. He then jumps up here. He sits up here and he's trying to shoot at me. He falls down and I try to kill it. And then he did it over here as well. In this particular configuration, I beat him so fast he didn't even get to sit on these things and use them as a platform. He got on it and then he jumps up and he strafed. The next phase would have been him getting on it, shooting little balls, and then jumping off. So I did so much damage so quickly that I didn't even have to worry about that particular situation. So this is a very, I like it. The configure. So I think I can do, what you want to call it, a build guide off of this now. It actually looks like it runs real well. So then the question is, I got to get to the end game, to the far end game, and see if I can get this to function better. So what I mean by that is I have to put a better way. I have to see if I can get survivability so that I can go to the end game stuff with this build. Right now, survivability sucks. I'm good, but survivability is my survivability is me freezing things. The higher level we go, I'm not going to be able to freeze things completely for long periods of time. I'm only going to be able to freeze it, kind of do damage, and then kind of move on. So and slow them down. So it's not going to be as effective as what I'm running right now. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to get some defenses in place so that I can survive some of those. One of the things I'm planning on doing is trying to go Chaos Inoculation, get some increased energy shield from here. I got the energy shield from there. Go down into here and grab the energy shield things that I need from here, which is going to be increased energy shield, and also get this one. No, sorry. This one from helmet. This one from a 40% increase. There is another energy shield thing that I need. It's over here. And then for damage wise, I'm pretty solid. The only things I want to get extra for damage wise is 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's count these out. So that's 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 from there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So that's 17. 17 levels on top of what I got right now. Plus some other mana one, energy shield one. That's 17 on top of. So that's 80 90. That'll take me to 90. That will be every point from now to 90 is going to be used to enhance my defense and enhance my and a little bit enhance of my offense, but mostly it's going to be defense enhancement. So, and then I need to replace all my gear, because like this gear piece, this one needs to be replaced with another piece of gear that would be good for gloves. So we're on our way to becoming really awesome. I believe that this will be I believe that this is the final push to maps and then surviving maps. So as soon as we can do that, I think we'll be really good. So if I can get my energy shield up, get the chaos inoculation in place. Now, the hard part about my chaos inoculation, just FYI, or the hard part I'm going to have is I am not built in a way where, and which might require me to make some changes. I need to be able to get my energy shield back faster. So that might require me to change up a few things, because I do want to get, I might not grab some certain things so that I can get enhanced energy shield regeneration, because I need to make sure my energy shield is coming back, because I'm not going to be Grim Feasting. Grim Feasting is going to give me the ability to have 10,000 energy shield, 20,000 energy shield. It's usually the way to go. What I want to do is do chaos inoculation, have a standard 6,000 or 7,000 energy shield, and hopefully my freeze plus that will keep me alive in maps and running through maps and stuff like that. But we don't know. We're not there yet. I still need to get a better mana regeneration per second. So that means, you know, I'm gonna have to get that intelligence up as high as possible. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Thanks everybody for being here. I'm gonna have to go because I gotta go do my driveway and all the other stuff. Hopefully I won't have to be out there all day long in the cold. I gotta go pick up medication for the wife. I got a whole bunch planned for the day, i.e. I gotta work. I gotta do adulting. I gotta do some adulting today. Okay guys, thanks for watching, and I hope this has helped you in your quest for ultimate power. Peace out.